Thank you, Alejandro, for being with us today.
No, thank you for having me.
Let's talk about Latin America. What are the main challenges the region is facing after 5 consecutive years of declining growth?
As you said, Latin America is having its 5th year of growth reductions and having almost a negligible growth this year. And under this environment, we think the most important issues are, first, to preserve macroeconomic and financial stability that has been a constant in many countries in the region. Secondly, to help the transition towards a new growth model that relies less on commodities and more on other sectors of the economy, productivity, investment, etc. And third challenge, to preserve and continue strengthening the gains that have been done in social inclusion, in income distribution, and poverty alleviation in the region.
What reforms are needed to restore confidence and stronger growth in the region?
Yeah, I would stress that on the one hand, to accomplish this transition in the growth model, it will be very important to accelerate the agenda of structural reforms. And among them, I would say that themes that are common across the region are education, infrastructure, rule of law, and the ease of doing business. On the fiscal and financial front, I would say that this would be also the time to strengthen the macroeconomic frameworks, the fiscal frameworks, and obviously monetary and financial policies.
With all the important social gains the region has achieved in the last decade, what are the risks of reversing these gains in the region with the outlook that you just presented?
No, you're right. Under an outlook of less growth and a more complicated world economy, it would be hard for this region to continue improving at the same pace in terms of social gains as it has done in the past. I think the good news is that a lot has been done in the past, but there's still a lot to be done in terms of designing policies, increasing efficiency in the way we spend resources to improve social indicators. And I said, as I said before, there are a lot of structural things that can be done to continue strengthening the growth process and employment generation, that also it's an important underpinning of the poverty alleviation and income distribution gains that the region has gone through.
What about the low oil prices and its impact in the region?
I think with the price of oil, we always focus on the losers from this process, and sometimes we lose sight of who gains from this process. In Latin America, like in almost any other region of the world, we have countries that are losing from this process. Obviously, the oil producers, oil exporters, in which you have, Venezuela, Ecuador, Mexico, Colombia, being maybe the top oil exporters in the region. And obviously, they have to compensate for the drop in oil prices through other means in terms of the fiscal impact or the growth impact. But also, we have many winners from this process. And among the winners are some of the poorest countries in the region. So if you look at Central America, the Caribbean, we have countries that are very significant oil importers. And this is representing a very important reduction in the amount of money they pay for their oil, and this will have positive consequences for them.
How is the IMF helping?
Well, the IMF helps with the work that we do with every country in terms of our policy advice, our policy analysis, but also with our programs. We have launched, since the global financial crisis, new instruments that are preventive instruments that support countries to weather these volatile periods, and also our traditional programs for those countries that have needed. And the third element is through our technical assistance, in which we have been helping countries in basically strengthen their capacity to design and implement macroeconomic policies.
Thank you so much, Alejandro.
Thank you, Carla.